Hi guys, so this is my analysis on Cosmos. What am I expecting on Cosmos? If you watched my previous analysis on Cosmos, I said there's a possibility we were going to push to around this target right here. Those were my targets, and that was because we're currently rejecting off of my negative 27% fib level, and you know around that area is always like a reversal zone for me. So whenever we get to my negative 27%, there's always a possibility that the market is going to reverse a little bit before it either continue to the same direction or the opposite direction. So I knew there's a possibility that we're going to reverse a little bit more, and this was my thought on it, that we might come up to right at this zone. This my real trend and my real line right here, because there is an imbalance here that needs to be filled. So I said there's a possibility we might come to that imbalance to fill that imbalance and probably continue to push to the upside, right, to the downside I mean. And another instance was this my zone right here. We can see this is a sensitive zone right here, to zone right here, and whenever we get to the zone, there's always a rejection around that area. We can see by looking at, even if I put it to right to my left side, we can see that whenever we get to the zone, there is always a form of rejections around the zone. So I said there's also a possibility we might push up to the zone, then we may now continue to push to the downside. So but we finally came to my first target here. We push up of that first target and still continue to push to that side. So I'm going to delete this current trend line right here because that is no more valid for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a trend line right at this place right here. So this is our new trend line that we are working on. I'm going to delete this line as well. So let's see, look at the bigger picture. I can draw a trend line probably from here to here, just to see what we are working on, right? Yeah, so let me zoom in a little bit. So this trend line is so what am I expecting right now, right? What I'm expecting now is a bit of a pull to the downside right now. I think we're gonna have like a bit of a bearish move, right? Then that will determine what next we are gonna do. So I can put just a mini fib level right here, but at this level for us to see what we are working on. Let me change the color. So what am I seeing, right? I see a possible move to push to at least my 61.8% fib level, and that is because you can see, let me go to a smaller time frame just to see if I can see. Yep, okay, that is perfect. So I think I can readjust my fib. So right here to here. So what am I seeing, right? Like I said, I think we might get to my negative 61.8% fib level, and my reason for that is because of, we can see right here is a break of structure, and there is an imbalance right here that needs to be filled, that hasn't been filled yet. So that's a possibility of us pushing to around this level right here before we now continue to push to the downside, so it can give us like a lower high, just like this one that's giving us a lower high. So that's a possibility that I'm seeing. I think we might push. This is my 2 zone that I'm looking at, that it might start rejecting off of negative 61.8% fib level and 50% fib level, based on the market structure on what we are looking at. So I'm just going to draw a quick line just to see what I think. So push down here right at this level right here, then my target will be here. So this is my target right here. So that's what I'm looking at, that we might push up like this, right? So we can continue an impulse, a correction, and a continuation to the downside before we now see what next. Either we're going to continue to come down here a little bit to touch the trend line, then zoom to the upside, or if possible come here, break this trend line, retest the trend line, and continue to push to the downside. So that will now depend on what we are doing, right? And another instance is, as long as if you break out of this zone right here, break out of this zone right at this level right here, retest the zone and continue to push the upside. So if it closes above the zone, then there's a possibility it might continue to push to the upside. But like I said, I think there might be a little bit of like a short bearish move before we now know what next, depending on the data we have at that moment. So this is a quick update on Cosmos. So this is insightful, guys. Don't forget to share, comment and like, and I'll see you in my next analysis. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you for watching.